My child, you are here, in this very breath, this exact heartbeat, because I have been calling your name across every season that ever felt like silence, every night that felt like abandonment, every morning that felt like another rerun of disappointment. This is not a random tab. This is not a weary scroll. I orchestrated the traffic lights, the quiet house, the sudden tug in your spirit that said, "Open this now." I drew you here with a love that never wavers and a timing that never fails, because what I am about to pour into your heart has been aging in the winepress of eternity, prepared specifically for you, for this moment, for where you are right now. You have carried a question that has grown heavier than any burden should ever be. When, Lord? When will it finally be my turn? You have whispered it in traffic, screamed it in showers, sobbed it into pillows. You have watched doors fly open for others while yours stayed stubbornly shut. You have celebrated their breakthroughs with a smile that never reached your eyes. You have wondered if divine timing was just a pretty phrase we use when God is saying no forever. I know the ache of believing, then doubting, then forcing yourself to believe again. I know the exhaustion of carrying hope like a fragile glass through a storm. I know the mornings you woke up already defeated, because another day began and the scenery of your life still looked exactly the same. But my child, lean in close, because I need you to hear this with every cell of your being. The waiting was never punishment. It was never abandonment. It was never me withholding good, because you were not good enough, not faithful enough, not ready enough. The delay you have felt like a knife in your chest was divine preparation, holy preparation, sacred preparation. I was not making you wait because I forgot your name. I was making you ready because I have never forgotten your future. I was doing a deeper work in you than you ever prayed for. I was building a foundation that will not crumble. When the weight of my yes finally lands, I was carving out space in your character for blessings that would have crushed an unprepared heart. You thought you were standing still, but you were being rooted deep like an ancient oak. You thought nothing was happening, but beneath the soil of silence I was strengthening roots of resilience, widening wells of wisdom, reinforcing the framework of your faith. The world calls waiting wasted time. I call it the womb. Every tear watered the seed. Every surrendered dream fertilized the soil. Every moment you chose to praise when you wanted to quit added iron to your spirit. You were not delayed. You were being developed. You were not forgotten. You were being formed. While you were waiting, I was working overtime. While you were on your knees in your bedroom, I was shifting mountains in the spirit realm. While you were crying in your car, I was dispatching angels into cities you have never visited, into rooms you have never entered, into hearts you have never met. I was speaking your name in heavenly council. I was turning the hearts of kings. I was closing doors that looked like answers, but led to graves. I was opening doors that no man can shut. I was removing people who would have hindered you and preparing people who will propel you. I was healing wounds you did not even know were infected. I was aligning details you could never orchestrate. You saw stillness. I saw surgery. You felt silence. I felt strategy. There were dangers I spared you from that you will never know about until heaven, opportunities that glittered like gold, but were traps in disguise. Relationships that felt like destiny, but would have become destruction. Positions that would have promoted pride instead of purpose. I blocked them all. Not because I delight in your pain, because I delight in your destiny. My timing is not slow. It is sovereign. My preparation is not cruelty. It is compassion in its purest form. And now, my beloved, lift your eyes. The preparation season is ending. Not because you finally earned it. Not because you finally prayed the perfect prayer. but because the time I wrote in eternity before the foundation of the world has arrived. The cocoon has fulfilled its purpose. The furnace has finished its fire. The womb has completed its wonder. The caterpillar you were is becoming the butterfly I always saw. What I have been preparing in secret is about to burst into public. The doors I have been guarding with angels are creaking open. The table I have been setting in the presence of your enemies is ready for you to sit and feast. I know you are trembling to believe again. I know hope has felt like Russian roulette. One more pull of the trigger, and it might destroy you. I know you have trained your heart not to run ahead because disappointment taught you to crawl. But this is not like the other times. This is my time, and my time never fails. My clock is never wrong. What I promised is no longer on its way. It is here. The preparation is complete. The presentation has begun. Feel it in your spirit right now. That flutter you cannot explain. That quiet electricity under your skin. That sudden tear that slipped without permission. That is not emotion. That is confirmation. That is my spirit bearing witness with your spirit. The waiting is over. The season of not yet has expired. The divine suddenly you have cried out for is breaking through the soil of every seed you planted in tears. Angels are rushing through the corridors of heaven right now with your name on sealed scrolls. Assignments that were on hold for years are being released. Roads that were blocked by the enemy are being bulldozed by my power. Hearts that were hardened toward you are being softened by my spirit. Resources that were tied up are being untied by my hand. Conversations that will shift your entire trajectory are being set in motion. Your breakthrough is not coming by mail. It is being hand-delivered by the hosts of heaven. Breathe deep, my child. Not the shallow, anxious breath you have lived on for years. The deep, full, lungs-wide open breath of a son, a daughter, who has just been told, it is finished. Feel the air rush in like a river of promise. That breath is proof you survived the preparation. You are still standing, still believing, still mine. Your heart is still beating because the best chapters are still unwritten. You are about to step into a season that will require every single thing I built during the wait. The patience you learned when my answers tarried. The faith you fought for when feelings fled. The humility you gained when you had nothing left but me. The discernment you developed when you learned my whisper from the enemy's roar. That season will move fast. Doors will open in days that you thought would take decades. Favor will fall like rain after drought. And you will not be swept away because you were prepared in the secret place for the spotlight of the public place. There are people waiting on the other side of your obedience who will only believe when they see what I have done in you. Your preparation is their persuasion. Your process is their prophecy. Your breakthrough will break chains of bloodlines. Your testimony will topple strongholds. Your rising will raise others. Lift your hands right where you are. Say it with me, out loud if you can. The preparation is complete. The timing is perfect. I receive everything God has prepared. I step into everything God has promised. It is my time now. Your yes is the key. Your faith is the trigger. Your obedience is the accelerator. The waiting was never wasted. It was the vineyard where I crushed the grapes of your character to produce the wine of your calling. And now the cup is overflowing. Drink deep. Taste and see that I am good, that my timing is flawless, that my preparation was worth every second. I am so proud of you for staying when quitting would have been easier, for praising when panic would have been justified, for trusting my heart when you could not trace my hand. You are my masterpiece, prepared in the shadow, now stepping into the marvelous light. Step forward, beloved. The stage is set. The curtain is rising. Heaven is applauding. And I am smiling bigger than you have ever seen, because the child I have prepared is finally taking their throne. This is not the epilogue. This is the explosion of everything I whispered in the wilderness. The preparation is over. The promise begins. Today, Amen. If this has set your spirit on fire, share it now. Someone is still in the thick of preparation, crying, "How long, Lord?" Your obedience in sharing could be the exact sign they have begged me for. Let my voice travel through your fingers until it lands on their weary heart.